going on, guys? It's Great 2001. I'm back for another video. This is my first ever WWE video review of anything WWE related, and I decided to start off by doing Saturday Night Main Event episode from January 8th, 2015. Like today's episode, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Now, if you're wondering why I'm reviewing stuff, I realized I have the WWE Network. It's only $9.99 a month, even though for the month of April, you get it for free. I decided to have the WWE Network, and I rarely do WWE videos anyway besides 2K. Decided to expand more on that. Like I said before, to change direction, be more of me, and what better way to have more of me than to actually do more reviews. And by reviews, I can do wrestling reviews. Since I am a huge fan of wrestling, might as well do it. So I have the WWE Network. I have access to thousands, my bad, almost millions of hours of wrestling content. So I decided to look through some and review it. I mean, I can do that since I am paying for a subscription, so I might as well just go ahead and do that anyway. So it might be fun, talk about all the fun days I like watching those matches and whatever. That's beside the point. Today's review is going to be on Saturday Night's Main Event from January 8th, 1988, I believe. Yeah, my bad, January 2nd. I said January 8th. My bad, January 2nd, 1998. That's 1988, guys. Sorry. Even, you know, the title says it right there. You get the idea. Now, before I actually start off the review, I'm going to say what Saturday Night Main Event is, in case you guys aren't familiar with it. And if you want to know more about it, you can check out Saturday Night Main Event. It's on demand on the WWE Network for only $9.99 a month. But for April, it's free for subscribers, excluding Extreme Rules pay-per-view, which will be on Sunday, April 28th. Anywho, Saturday Night Main Event was an old show that they used to have back in the day, in the classic era of WWE, which aired on Saturdays as like a one-off from Saturday Night Live. They decided to call Saturday Night Main Event. See how that works. Basically, a 1 hour wrestling show culminates something that's been happening during the WWE's, you know, events of wrestling that they have. They didn't have Raw back then. I forgot what's called primetime wrestling. I really don't remember. Saturday Night Main Event was like a big way, besides the 4 main pay-per-views, to culminate something. Now, I think it was either once every month or twice every month. I really don't know how they did it back in the day, but pretty much Saturday Night Main Event was that type of show. It ended in the early 1990s, I believe, because it wasn't in the Attitude Era. You could definitely tell you that much. And it actually returned as a special in like 2005 or 6, and then did one more in 2008 or 9. Forgot which one. It was most likely 8, or it was either 2007 or 2008, then it stopped. Now I think Saturday Night Main Event's coming back anymore. Saturday Night Main Event was basically what Main Event was supposed to be, which is now. Which I'll get back to in a little bit. But now, basically, for the Saturday Night, I have my notes right here, in case you're wondering, I keep looking down. For this main event, for Saturday Night Main Event episode, it was basically Hulk Hogan defending his title against King Kong Bundy, and the tag team champions, the Skyforce, was taking on the Bolsheviks. I know I might pronounce their name wrong, but I'm not Russian. So anyway, the show opens with the promos that Superstars fighting tonight. That's one thing that WWE does not do anymore. Besides the Royal Rumble event, if you saw Royal Rumble 2015, this year's Royal Rumble, for their actual match, the Superstars just talking how they're going to win the Royal Rumble. They did that all the time back in the classic days of WWE, or back then it was WWF, but you get the idea. Those kept promos backstage with the thing in the back. They don't do that anymore, except for Royal Rumble. That's one thing I think they should bring back, but they might not. And another thing I realized, the classic days of WWE had more of like a tradition and like a more theater-based style. I'm starting to realize that's how the classic WWE days were. It just seems more theater-oriented to me. I don't know what that really. I do know what it means, but like, in case you guys know what it means, it's like I feel as though it's more theater oriented. It's like more tradition. Maybe that's just me. Anyway, shows open up with that. Then Vince and Jesse's talk about tonight's card, how it's gonna be Hulk Hogan, King Kong Bundy, Jake Snake Roberts taking on Sika. You get the idea, which I think is Rikishi. Is related to Rikishi and the Rocks family. I don't know. And then it cuts to interviews with the tag team champions, the Skyforce, and the Bolsheviks. They're having the 2 out of 3 falls match tonight. And one thing, another thing that Main Event was supposed to do. Main Event, if you remember back in the first couple episodes of Main Event, they always built the one match that they was promoting, and actually it was always the first match of the show. They had this promo, they had the interview between the two, and they actually came out and did the match. That's what Main Event should have did. Then now Main Event is actually kind of preferred this way. It's like continuation before it got took off of the UK. Thanks to the UK, it was a continuation of Raw, then led into Smackdown. You get the idea. It was a bridge gap, so more story I was able to get through. But until it comes back, it's just like Superstars, which I see why WWE did that, because there's no point promoting something if nobody in Americans can see it. So that's what we plucked. That's a different story. The the Sky Strike, I said Skyforce. Skyforce, that's their name. Had an interview before they came out with their match, and the Brawlers came out with their match as well at the interview, blah blah blah. The match starts. Most of the match, the Bolsheviks had the upper advantage, but then Tito was able to make the tag to Ricky Martel. If they put in the Boston Crab into one of the Bolsheviks, I forgot which one who was which. They look the same to me. I'm not racist, just saying. And then he goes to get the first fall. Afterwards, Ballsy was supposed to win, because I see what they were trying to do. They was able to get. Oh yeah, by the way, Slick was their manager. Slick gave one of them the cane. He's supposed to hit Tito, but he didn't. He accidentally hit one of his partners, which made him was able to let him get the pinfall, and they retained the tag team titles. I gave that match 3 out of 5 stars because I thought it was actually pretty good for even though it's a short match for what it was. Short matches can be pretty good as long as you deliver it right. That's what my opinion is. Up next, we had Jake the Snake Roberts taking on Sika. And before that, it was an interview with Sika saying how he's going to cook Damien, which is Jake's snake. And Sika came out with a big behind bread, you know, as used for hoagies or sandwiches. He put mustard on it, and then Mr. Fuji fed Sika with mustard. It was kind of weird, but it was actually kind of funny at the same time. Then Jake cuts all his, you know, his famous promos, how he talks. I like how Jake's the Snake Roberts talks. That's one of the things about his character people don't forget. People tend to forget about Jake. He cuts very good promos. I actually remember on the countdown, he was ranked number 3. I think either 3 or no, it was either like 5, 3. One of those, the top ones for the best talkers, basically. Or best trash talkers, I could say, in the WWE. I don't think he really cut trash talk from him. He just caught very good ones. That was just my opinion. Then the match between the two happened. Basically, it was really nothing. It's just there. Jake was able to win it for the most part. He wins with the small package because before then, for all Fuji did was hit Jake with the cane. I really didn't do anything. He wanted the small package. I gave it 2.5 stars since there wasn't really nothing there. And all Jake did was hit Fuji with the DDT, and Damien was able to, you know, bite Fuji. It wasn't really nothing there to me for that match. And then cuts an interview with King Kong Bundy since he's taking on Hulk Hogan, and he was telling what happened to Bobby the Brain Heenan. How come he got injured? So Andre the Giant's gonna come out with him instead. Bundy comes out, then cuts an interview with Hulk Hogan. You know his incoherent promos. You can barely understand them, but you already know Hulk Hogan's promos. I'm not going to explain, saying he's going to win, eat your vitamins, say your prayers, whatever. Then Hulk Hogan comes out. The match starts. The match was actually pretty good for what it was. Hulk Hogan was actually upper hand in the match, and Bundy was able to take over most of the match. He did his splash on the ropes 2 times, which he should have pinned him, and that would have made sense because, you know, he should have pinned him after those 2 signature moves, but if you don't know about King Kong Bundy, he always does this thing where he instead of counting to 3, counts to 5 to show that he won the match like overpoweredly. So he's about to do his splash to do the 5 count, but then Hulk Hogan was able to dodge it. He does the leg drop. Hulk Hogan retains the WWE Heavyweight title, but then Andre the Giant afterwards come out. He was already outside, attacks him, he chokes him out behind, hit him in the head in the first place, and he chokes him out. First, the British Bulldog, basically the what the hell is their name? British Bulldogs. Yeah, I was right. Davey Boy Smith, I forgot the other guy's name. The British Bulldogs tried to come out, they didn't do anything. Andre threw him out the entire. Then more of the face superstars decided to come out. Then Hacksaw Jim Duggan hit Andre the Giant with the 2x4. He was able to take Hulk Hogan out, and he was carried away by the faces. And when Andre the Giant was holding the WWE title, and he puts it in the ring. Then we get to the main event, which is Coco and Greg the Valentine. Greg Valentine has Jimmy Hart with him saying how blah blah he's gonna win. It's a new year for him since 1988. Tico saying he's gonna win. The 2 people come out. It was actually a pretty good match. For what it was, I gave it. Alright, first I should give my rating. See, I'm all over the place here. The rating I gave Hulk Hogan And King Kong Bundy was 3 out of 5. I thought it was pretty good, especially with storytelling at the end. Now this match was also pretty good for the most part. Beefcake first of all came out to distract Greg Valentine because he was going to tell him he was going to cut his hair. But then, you know, Greg Valentine put in the figure 4. He won, but Coco was able to get in some good moves in the match. But overall, Beefcake, I'm not saying Beefcake, Greg Valentine was able to put in the figure 4, which I'm assuming was not the Ric Flair since he was in WCW at that point. He put in the figure 4 to win, and then afterwards he put in the figure 4 again just to hurt Coco's leg. Then Beefcakes came out to get him away. Jimmy Hart was still stuck in the ring, so Beefcakes would cut off some of his hair on top of his head. That was pretty much it. After that, those two came back. Then it was post interviews with Gene Okerlund and Jesse Ventura. Gene Okerlund was talking about how Hulk Hogan's injured, but he's well enough so he had to be on like a breathing thing. He's able to breathe on his own. Jesse Ventura with his heel self to say he deserves it, blah blah blah. Vince comes at the end, just closes the show with the highlights from the show, and that's how Saturday Night Main Events end. Like I said before, back then WWE was more, you know, like tradition and more theater based. It was structured. People say this is scripted. This was more scripted, but more structured. That makes sense to you guys. Overall, I thought it was a pretty good show for what it was back then. It's good to see, I'm only 18, but it's good to see, so I obviously wasn't born yet at that time, but it's good to see the classic matches back in the day, see the reason why people liked them so much. I actually personally enjoyed it. I wasn't bored of it at all. I didn't go to sleep or anything during the show. It was actually pretty entertained by the classic matches that they put on back in the day. So thank you guys for watching this review of Saturday Night Main Event from January 2nd, 1988. Let's see the episode. Make sure to hit that like button. Comment down below. Subscribe and else to my channel as well as more reviews for WWE. Thanks to WWE Network for only $9.99. Thanks for watching this Crazy Tales 1. Signing off. Catch you guys later. See ya.